Lecture topic: Acquiring Inner Peace.
For a person to be at ease, to be at peace, there are certain basic physical requirements for this to be able to be enjoyed. For example, a person has a need for food. If he is extremely hungry, so he cannot be at ease, he's going to be restless. Likewise, as humans, we feel pain, we feel all other kinds of physical conditions. Person feels extremely cold, or he feels very hot. And if any of these things are applicable, person is extremely hungry, or now he's feeling some pain, or it's extremely cold, or extremely hot. In all these conditions, he's going to be uneasy, he's going to be restless, trying to cool himself in some way, trying to find some food to eat to take the hunger away. But the point is that without these basic things in place, there will be a problem physically. He won't be able to be at ease and be able to relax. Likewise, just as these physical conditions are necessary for that peace, for that ease, there are certain spiritual situations. If that is not in order, then outwardly a person might seem to have everything, but that inner peace, which is the real thing, peace is really within a person, it's not outside. If there's peace within, and outside he's feeling comfortable, then he'll enjoy that external comfort as well. Otherwise, if inside something is wrong, that external comforts will mean nothing. So now some aspects pertain to the inner self as well. If a person, for example, externally, he is seated in a place where, for some reason or the other, there is a very, very terrible stench. There's an odor, there's a smell. Now somebody brings the best of food and places in front of him there, but that stench is so strong that can he ever eat in such a place where there's such a strong odor and stench? No matter how good that food might be, he'll be unable to eat at all. And if he's somehow forcing himself, he won't enjoy one bit of it. He will be more feeling like rather bringing up than eating. Likewise, spiritually, if there are any things of this nature that affect the soul, then there cannot be any peace. In the Hadith Sharif it is mentioned, for example, that if a person lies, now that lie that he has spoken, it has such a terrible odor, such a terrible stench and smell, that due to the bad smell of it, the angels of Rahmat, they go away to the extent of 1 mile. This is how far it can be sensed. So now if a person is seated in a place where there's a stench, he can't eat because he'll be so restless there. He won't be able to sleep because he'll be so restless. So now if the soul is, now this is something which the human cannot feel and understand. The physical knows we can't smell this, but the ruh perceives it. The angels also, they perceive it because they are a makhluk of that caliber, light. So the ruh also perceives the smell. Now this is just one example in the Hadith Sharif of lying. Likewise, all other sins have an impact. They have an effect. So now the ruh is perceiving this, the ruh is feeling it. Though the body can't feel it, but the ruh is feeling it. And the main thing is the ruh. The main thing is the soul. So now just as the body is restless when there is some smell, there is pain, there is heat, there is cold, there is hunger. So if the ruh is starving, the ruh is perceiving the smell of sin, the ruh is perceiving the extremes of cold and heat of whatever sort which affect the ruh due to spiritual problems, then obviously the ruh is also never going to be able to be at peace and ease. And if the ruh is not at peace, then externally also a person won't be at ease. Sometimes he'll say, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm feeling uneasy, but I'm just feeling very uneasy. Somebody will ask him, but is something paining? Is something problem? Have you eaten? He says, no, everything is fine, but I'm just very restless. So sometimes that very restless is due to something inside. It's the ruh that's restless, as a result of which that body is restless. But the problem is now to try and remove the restlessness. So a person is trying to pacify the body. So now what he's trying to pacify the body, he says, okay, just maybe go take a walk somewhere. That walk somewhere is not going to pacify the ruh. But then he sometimes goes worse than that. So now he wants to pacify that body because of the restlessness. So he wants to look at something haram. So now it's like a person was feeling he couldn't even eat because of the stench. So he decides to go directly into the dump yard instead, where all the mess of the whole community is all dumped. He says, no, I'm feeling uneasy in this garden where there's a stench. I'd rather go away in the dump yard. Now, how is that going to ever help him? It's going to increase the whole problem for him. So this restlessness that comes from inside can't be removed by pacifying the outside. And now he's going to try to pacify it with haram, then he's going right into the dump yard. Then he's going right into the sewage works. That is just going to increase all the problems and all the difficulties. So the solution is to come out of what's bringing that stench. Come out to a garden that's without any kind of problem, where the flowers are smelling well. That is where he will get that peace. Now he'll be smelling something that's fragrant. So that's the same thing, that to come out of sin, to make tawbah, istighfar, and to then turn to amal, to turn to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, to the extent that this is then going to be done, to that extent that soul will get peace, the body will be at ease as well. So this is what we have to focus on, how to bring peace to the ruh, to the soul. That doesn't come from external things. That comes from the extent we have connected ourselves to Allah Ta'ala, connected the ruh to Allah Ta'ala, and nourished the ruh with those things that nourish it. Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. The dhikr of Allah Ta'ala, primarily the obedience of Allah Ta'ala. That is what nourishes the soul. Allah Ta'ala gives them.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।